Everybody, this is Jennifer from Jentle Soaps, and I'm here to show you how to make bubble icing. So it's for your bubble baths or your bubble bars or your bubbles, all your bubbly goodies. And yesterday we made these macarons, which turned out lovely. So we're going to make some icing for those. And then I'm also going to ice these little mini cupcakes to give them a little more oomph in the bathtubs. They've got a little embed, but I just want to give them more. So we're going to give them more. Hopefully this recipe will work really well. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the recipe I'm working with comes from Miriam Hassanali Satchell. Thank you so much for sharing your recipe. Of course, like all soapers, I'll probably tweak it a little bit, but I'm going to share the link to Suds and Such, who also shared this on YouTube so that I could make this today. And let's see how everything works. So the first thing it calls for, and we're going to do a half recipe, and I'm also going to convert it into metric because I find working with metric works better for me. It's a little easier to get down to the gram than it is to the quarter ounce or half ounce. So we're going to use this, and I'm just going to position it so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it will dry. Let's see. Of course, now everything's. Oh. All right. So move over just a touch. Don't have all of that sink in your way. All right. So here's my container. We're gonna put things in here and then just zero. And one kind of tip, if you use a scale when you're cooking in the kitchen or when you're cooking in your soap kitchen, put a bag over the top of yours if you have one similar to mine, and then you can just swap it out each time, and your scale stays clean, and I think that helps to keep it more accurate if it's pristine. So let's turn it on. Now the reason the container is on here is so that it'll discount the weight of the bowl. So the first thing Miriam's recipe calls for is 4 ounces of citric acid. So we'll just go ahead and put that in. So 4 ounces of citric acid comes in at 115 grams. All right, and then she adds half of her recipe is 8 ounces of baking soda, or 225 grams. All right. 4 ounces of cream of tartar. Now I'm just going to zero this off because I haven't measured it out previously. Make sure we're at a zero. Sometimes you have to do that a couple of times. Now she calls for 4 ounces of cream of tartar. I'm going to do a half again, so 2 ounces. That one. 6. 2 exactly. And if we switch it over to grams, that's equal to 55 grams. So I'm just going to write that down. All right, kaolin clay. Now I don't have kaolin, but I do have bentonite. So I'm going to use bentonite because it is a clay. And it calls for 2.5 tablespoons. I'm going to use 1.25, and that weighs out at about 15 grams. All right, now we're going to mix this. Let me just find my mixer. Actually, I need some whisks up here. I don't think I have any. I'm just going to leave it on here. Let's see what that looks like. Now, if you want it whiter, I'm going to put a little bit of coloring in this one, I think, just to make up for that gray powder. I don't really like that color. I'll put a little bit of yellow in there. I'm going to make it yellow. she says to add, if you're using powder dyes, add it to your powder. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to find my yellow. I've got Buttercup Yellow Mica from Voyager Soaps. This will be my first time using it. So I'm going to crack her open. Mica, and it doesn't really say how much to use, so I'm guessing it's use your own discretion as to, you know, what color you want it to be. Now my embeds that I'm using are also yellow, so this is really just for, I'm going to use about a teaspoon and a half there. Oops, looks like we're getting it on the counters as well. About a quarter of a teaspoon if it can fly in there. Just wipe that up really quick. Now this does have SLSA in it. I haven't even put it in yet. But whenever you're working with powders, do you see how it got all over my scale? No, it didn't ruin my scale at all. I'm just, you know, either replace it for next time if I'm worried about yellow getting in there. Just whatever. Alright, so we got a little bit of a yellow color rather than the gray, which is nice. Now the last ingredient I'm going to add is the SLSA. Now it's a powder, and I pre-measured that. And her recipe calls for 3 to 4 ounces, so I use 2 ounces or 115 grams. I think that's right. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a lot of mixing, but I don't like those lumps, so I'm going to sift it the whole shebang. Another one of these right here, and just, this will be my first time using that one. One I've used already. Here's one I've used already. That one needs to be washed. I don't want to be getting it wet. I'm just going to sift it. I'm going to grab my, wear a mask if it starts to bother you. Or it's probably just a good idea to wear a mask whenever you get micas and soda. Soap in the air, surfactants in the air. Now the lady from Suds and Such says she just mixes it by hand. That'll make things a little easier since it's been sifted. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to use the other one to measure out my oils. No, well, it's already dirty, so may as well. Alrighty, so liquid ingredients. She calls for 6 ounces of cocoa butter, but she says to have some in reserve. So we're going to measure out 6 ounces. Liquid cocoa butter. 2, 3, actually I'm doing half batch, so 3 ounces. And olive oil, almond oil is 1 ounce, so half an ounce. And then fragrance oil, 0.5 to 1 ounce. And I'm going to be using Since the macarons are cake batter scented, and I'm going to go to Fruit Loop cupcake, we're going to go ahead and scent them all in almond because it's one of my favorite scents for the bath. So I'm just going to zero that, and we're going to use a 1/2 ounce, or yeah. .5 grams or 20 grams. Now, you should stick to either one or the other, either volume measure or, I'm just going to write that down. The fragrance oil is 35 grams actually. Alrighty, and then we need the poly 80. Now, why do we need the poly 80? You see that? Polysorbate 80. That's going to make this is a very important ingredient, and don't leave it out, because it'll help emulsify the oils, so that when you have a bath, it's not greasy and floating on the top. Zero again, and 1/2 ounce is what she calls for. So I really hope that's enough. So let's try. Alright, there we go. I used 25 grams. Alright, helps to write things down. So you gotta write things down when you do a recipe for the first time especially. So I'm just going to put my scale away. I've already got the color in there. Give this a bit of a mix. I'm just going to do it this way. And we're going to add most of it. Because if this is anything like most bath bomb things, it's apt to feel. So I just want a pipable consistency. Now I don't like my color. It's very brown. So we're going to add some of my Easy Color dyes. They're going to give me a more pronounced color. So we got orange, lime, magenta, blue, pink, red, orange, I have the other, teal, violet, black, some tiny ones, green, cocoa glitter. Come on, I don't have that many, do I? I do have lots. Should have pulled this out ahead of time. Neon green, which by the way is not approved for use in the US for bath bombs. You can use it in your soap with the neons. If you're selling in the States, they have not been approved. I may just have to go with mica. So I've got another big. Actually, I have my yellow number 5. So we may as well see if this one's going to be work for us. So yellow number 5 in there. I'm going to get my gloves on. Again, this is a little elbow grease work. Now, it's cool and it's summertime, winter time, so we may need more of the cocoa butter. Nice thing about cold is I'm guessing if I put this in the fridge, it's almost pipable already, it'll harden up. There we go. Now we're getting kind of yellow color, which is important. I don't want. Do not use bentonite in this recipe unless you're going for a heavily colored middle. I really wanted white, but I am kind of doing my school colors. We had blue and yellow were our colors, Wendell Trojans. So we've got kind of a Play-Doh yellow going on right there. Don't think I like that. So let's try some of this mica. Give it a little more brightness. Making sometimes is a little bit pinch of this and a pinch of that. At least when I'm doing it. Crash, boom, bang. Everything's fine. It's all good, and I get an extra glove to boot. I like that brightness already, and if this doesn't work, I will just dust it with mica to give it the illusion of the yellow all the way through. Okay, there we go. Just change my gloves again. An itchy nose. Alrighty, so that's a lot brighter. I like that because I'm going to be piping these on top of some of my cupcakes too. So they're purple, so we're going to have a purple and yellow, and then we're going to have a yellow filling. So let's get the rest of that in there. And let's do a scrapey. And I've got more cocoa butter if I need it. Now I'm going to try to whip it with my hand mixer. Whether or not that'll work, I don't know. Because I really want like a pipable consistency. Looking like we got that. It's quite soft. Let's see, we got all the ingredients in there, right? Citric acid, baking soda, everything's counted for. Alrighty. Scrape that off. And I'm going to whip it up a little bit. Now, it says it takes a few days for this to set up. When I was originally coming up with my own recipes, I used egg white or meringue powder. For some reason, people don't really like that. So, oh, that's why it's not a plug. Okay, USB ports do not work for plugging in your, put a new system here. Just trying to, there we go. We're plugged in. Yeah, that's got a nice, let's give it some. Alrighty. I think that's going to be fine. Every little bit of that out. This kind of looks like the blue and the gold from my high school days. Shout out to all my friends in Wendell, Idaho. Alrighty, so let's load up a piping bag. What kind of tip do I want to use? I just got a whole bunch of new tips in. Okay, I don't want to use that kind of tip. We'll use a closed star. Open star I might have to switch to an open star because it's very, very thick. I'm just going to grab that one just in case I have to swap out my tips. are you? For some reason I bought a ton of leaf tips. I wonder if there's some flower tips in there too. Alright, here's my open star. So I got my open star and my closed tip. We're going to start with, I think we're going to start with the open. No, we'll start with the closed tip star and see how she does. Now, I just need the right kind of coupler. Should have this. Usually I have this set up ahead of time, and I just didn't do that this time. Here's my bigger one. Is this my uber big one, or is this my cupcake one? Cupcake tip. Alrighty, put this inside here. I reuse my bags and reuse my bags and reuse my bags. These built-in reusables are really reusable. I'm going to start with that closed tip. If I have to, I'll switch over to the open tip. I'll just pause for a second. Alrighty, so we're going to fill her up. Like this. I'm only going to put half in there. And I'm going to move over. This is really thick. I don't know. I don't know, Miriam. I really hope this works. I hope I'm smart enough to figure this one out. This is not looking pipable. So, because it's not pipable, just to add more cocoa butter. So I'm just going to squish this all out. Pause. Okay, we're back, and I just microwaved it. Thought, you know, it's pretty cold up here. I made it warmer, and this should pipe a lot better. We're just going to put it in my bag, and this smells amazing. It smells like cake. It smells like marzipan cake. It smells like Christmas. It smells like wedding cake. It smells wonderful. So bitter almond's probably one of my favorite bath scents. When I was a little girl, my grandmother tried to work from home selling makeup. And the company that she represented, his name was Jafra. They're not around anymore, which is too bad because I absolutely love their products. They have this bath oil, this almond bath oil. I'm sure my cousin Shauna remembers. Oh my goodness. That stuff was amazing. Just get everything in there. Stuff that fell on the sides. Alrighty. Let's see. Now that's pipable. That's going to work. It was just getting cold. So if you're making this recipe and it's too thick, you might be in a, your work environment might be a little bit too cool, or you just took your time. And alrighty, and you need to warm it up, so just pop it in the microwave for a minute or so, 30 seconds to a minute. Now, oops, only one of them dropped. The magic of television. We have our cupcakes that I'm going to do. Cupquakes. These are cupquakes. And the macarons, which are the same batter as the cupquake. And we made those in a previous episode. And this was the leftovers. So we're going to test the thickness and the viscosity and the pipeability with one of my, oh yeah. I'm just going to put a dollop in the middle. And I'm going to, so just kind of break a little bit. Do that. Pretty, pretty. Alrighty, so we got one done. Now I think that just needs something a little, I don't know, shimmer. Tell me what you think. Is that even better? Sparkles are good. Alright, so I'm just going to set that there. Alright, so let's make some macarons. Now macarons are super fun to make. If you've ever made them, you need to go, if you ever had trouble making them, you need to go to howtocookthat.net, and Anne Reardon will set you straight. She knows the ins and outs of macarons. Now I'm just going to put a little embed to also decorate, and then I'm going to fill it with more. Now this is just my first one. If I don't like it, I won't do the rest like this. Yeah, this is going to make my macarons probably have too much filling. There's a monster macaron. I don't know, I kind of like it. It kind of works. What do you think? Monster macarons. Let's go ahead and make them all like that. 1, 2, 3. So now a little more filling. And you just match up the pieces. Here, let's make one without. Let's see what we think of that. There's your match. That's super cute. You can put a little star on top. Let's do a couple more like that. We'll see what the embeds do. If they're really all that great, then we'll put them back in. But I've got a whole batch of these to make, so when you're first doing it, it's fun to play a little bit, actually. Got a star. That's a little bit wet, isn't it? Do them just white. You don't use bentonite. I'm going to put a little sparkle on these 3. Alright, now let's see if I like this color on the purple. If I don't, I'll just leave them plain. I put one in the center. Plunk. And then I'm going to go around. Around and up. There's a cup quick. Let's see, I don't know if it's going to stay. I may need to use cupcake tray. Cupcake tray. There you are. We'll put them back in here. These are all different sizes, aren't they? That's okay, I'll get better at piping. I'll just do that. I got too much on those. Pop it off. It's a little easier to control. I like that better. Let's see, it's easier too. So we have a giant tip, giant star tip, closed star tip. These work really well for the minis. Pop those off. center so it's even. Right in the center so it's even. There we go. Right in the center and up. Right in the center and up. Right in the center and up. Go slow. Let's try that one again. And up. Let's get some sparkle on these. Where'd my sparkle go? This is Snowflake Sparkle, but it might be Kindor soaps. They all have one, and so I bought all of their Snowflake Sparkle-ish ones, Esk ones. They're so pretty. Alright, so there we go. Piped Bubble Icing. Awesome. See you next time.